Contact. Oh, shh. The mind can be very powerful, especially when you are just waking up out of your sleep. Today, I'm about to tell you about something that happened to me years ago. But let me tell you, I remember everything just like it was yesterday. I have a Ring camera system in my house with multiple cameras. There are a whole bunch of ways you can set this system up. There's somebody always walking outside my apartment complex. So what I do is snooze it so that way it's not constantly chiming all night long. However, at night, I always make sure that all my motion sensors are on. That way, if I hear a chime sound, I know that's coming from the inside of the house, not the outside. It was late, so I was fast asleep when I heard my Ring camera go off. I'm a vet, so my survival skills kicked in immediately because I thought it was go time for sure. I keep a vest by my bed, and it has all the ammunition for every firearm that I own. I grabbed it, and my closest gun, which was an M2 shotgun, and I got down on the prone and I looked at the feed. That way I can assess how many intruders that I would have to deal with. The only problem is there was nothing, and it was dead silent. I cocked my shotgun as a deterrent. Most people know exactly what that sound was. I was hoping that people would hear that sound and get the heck out of there, because the last thing you want to do is have to use it on somebody. Still, there was nothing. Silence. At this point, I was under the impression that they were just somewhere in the house hiding. Maybe they were scared or something. So what I did is I switched weapons so that way I can prepare for battle. I didn't know how many enemies we were facing, so I wanted to make sure I had an AR-15, that way I can have a whole lot of ammo. Each one of these magazines hold 30 rounds. That's plenty enough ammunition to get the party started if I needed to. And I got plenty more magazines. I won't run out. The barrel on my M4 is much shorter too, so that'll make it much easier to maneuver around my house. After a quick prayer, it was go time. After almost a half a decade of deployment time, I'm at the point now where I just don't fear death anymore. I believe when it's your time, it's your time. I burst through the door and I combed the premises for intruders. Nothing. I looked everywhere. Twice. At this point, folks, I was so confused. I just plopped down on the couch, pulled up the Ring footage, and took a look. This time, instead of going to the live feed, I went to the history. That takes a little longer, so I really didn't have time to do it earlier. What I saw next confused me even more. Let's take a look together. There's a couple of ways you can look at this, folks. You can take the logical, scientific approach, and that's the first thing I did. I said that this has to be some sort of light. I didn't have any lights inside, so I clued in on the window to see if it came from there. No sign of lights. Also, couldn't explain how the footage shows whatever it was, splitting and then going straight up. Plus, I took a flashlight and I tried several times to set the motion sensor off, and I couldn't. My wireless Ring cameras that I have now, they all detect light. But the older version I have that you plug in, it didn't detect light. I tried it over and over. It was driving me crazy. After a long time and a whole lot of thinking, I started to look at it from a different point of view. I showed it to some people that I trust, and what they told me was they believed that it was a spirit. They also reminded me that my aunt had just passed the night before from cancer, not too long after her sister. At this point, I am definitely convinced that it was her and her sister. I'll leave your judgment up to you. My goal today wasn't to try to convince you. It was to tell my story.